43 mountaineers died at once in this terrible climbing tragedy. In the icy grip of the world's deadliest peak, a band of intrepid climbers took on nature's ultimate challenge, seeking triumph and glory in the face of adversity. But the unforgiving mountain had other plans, and the chilling winds carried a tale of loss and sacrifice that echoed through the ages the day 43 mountaineers fell victim to an unimaginable tragedy. In the world of mountaineering, some peaks are considered relatively safe, leading climbers to successfully conquer them and return to base camp unharmed. However, there are moments when unforeseen tragedies strike even in the most unexpected places, shattering the tranquility of a mountain. Today's story revolves around an incident on Lenin Peak, a mountain that some may be familiar with due to a video discussing the death of a group of Soviet hikers led by Elvira Satayva on its slopes in 1974. However, we will be focusing on a different catastrophe that took place on the same peak in 1990. High above the clouds, where only the most courageous dare to tread, an ambitious group of adventurers set out to conquer the unconquerable. Yet, as they pushed their limits in pursuit of greatness, they unknowingly walked toward an unforgiving destiny, one that would forever alter the course of mountaineering history. Lenin Peak, standing tall at 7,134 meters, 23,406 feet, had been known by that name since 1928 in honor of the Russian revolutionary and first leader of the Soviet Union, Vladimir Lenin. Located in Tajikistan, the smallest country in Central Asia, the mountain offered climbers a challenging yet accessible ascent. In 2006, it was renamed Ibn Sina Peak after a medieval Persian polymath, but most people in the post-Soviet countries still recognize it by its original name. Tajikistan, a landlocked country bordered by Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, China, and Afghanistan, boasts a subtropical arid climate with significant temperature fluctuations and low rainfall levels. In Soviet times, it was part of the USSR, making Russian a widely spoken language in the region. The country is rich in natural resources such as silver, precious stones, and uranium. Fast forwarding to the decline of the Soviet Union, the story takes place in the year 1990 when hikers from all over the USSR flocked to Tajikistan for exciting treks, campfires, and an opportunity to immerse themselves in pristine nature. With 93% of Tajikistan's territory covered by mountains, there were plenty of routes to choose from, and Lenin Peak became one of the most accessible mountains over 7,000 meters. On Lenin Peak, as many as 16 routes have been laid out, attracting climbers from different parts of the world, including members of the Leningrad Mountaineering Club, professional, and had already conquered many peaks. Joining them were climbers from Czechoslovakia, Germany, Israel, and Switzerland, adding diversity and camaraderie to the expedition. The weather wasn't particularly favorable on the expedition day, marked by heavy snowfall, an uncommon occurrence during summer in those parts. However, on Friday, July 13th, 1990, the weather showed some improvement, and several dozen climbers reached the Frying Pan Meadow at 5,300 meters, a traditionally considered safe spot on the route. Some of them decided to set up camp, hoping for a respite and better conditions in the near future. Among the climbers on the expedition was Vladimir Balaburdin, the first Soviet climber to conquer Mount Everest, accompanied by his friend Boris Sidnik and Sidnik's girlfriend, Yelena Uromena. Balaburdin soon decided to turn back due to the uncertain weather. Yelena also started to descend, but later decided to return to the upper camp for rest and a later descent. Little did they know that this decision would be crucial. As dusk approached, tragedy struck when the ground beneath their tents trembled and a deafening roar followed. In a matter of seconds, a colossal avalanche swept over the entire camp.
Så jävligt. Åh helvete. Ja, det var det sista nu.
Burying all 45 climbers who had retired to their tents for the night. Only 2 climbers, Alexei Korin and Miro Grossman, managed to survive the catastrophic event, while the rest were trapped under tons of snow and ice shards. The survivors, Korin and Grossman, endured the freezing night with limited resources. They managed to find some mattresses and tent fragments, which provided them with a measure of protection against the harsh elements. As dawn broke, they embarked on a challenging descent, hoping to find help and safety. A rescue crew climbed the mountain as soon as the avalanche's terrible effects became apparent. The rescuers arrived to find the camp covered in snow, making it a daunting task to search for survivors. Within the first day, only 4 bodies could be recovered, with the rest buried too deep to be found. It was a heartbreaking scene, leaving the mountaineering community in shock and disbelief. In the mid-2000s, the melting of the glacier began revealing equipment and human remains buried under the snow since 1990. Expeditions were organized to retrieve the remains and provide some closure to the families of the victims. The disaster, however, left numerous unanswered questions. Various theories emerged regarding the possible triggers for the avalanche. Some speculated that a small earthquake or underground nuclear testing in China might have triggered the avalanche. Others attributed the disaster to the melting of ice, resulting in an accumulation of a critical snowmass that ultimately gave way. Despite the theories, it remained uncertain whether the catastrophe could have been predicted and prevented. The tragedy left an indelible mark on the mountaineering community, highlighting the inherent risks and uncertainties involved in conquering nature's heights. The climbers who perished on Lenin Peak were buried at the foot of the mountain, where a memorial stands in their memory. The terrible climbing tragedy on Lenin Peak in 1990 serves as a poignant reminder of the unpredictable forces of nature that mountaineers face. Experienced climbers on a seemingly routine expedition were confronted with a massive avalanche, claiming the lives of 43 individuals in an instant. This devastating event underscores the importance of caution, respect for nature, and the profound appreciation of the risks mountaineers encounter when pursuing their passion for conquering the world's peaks. As the world of mountaineering pauses to remember and reflect, may we honor the memory of these 43 mountaineers by ensuring that their legacy strengthens our resolve to protect and preserve these majestic peaks for generations to come. Let us cherish their memory, celebrate their lives, and embrace the essence of adventure that forever thrives in the heart of every mountaineer. As we bid farewell to these fallen adventurers, let us remember not only the tragedy that befell them, but also the indomitable spirit that led them to embrace the call of the mountains. May their courage and determination serve as a guiding light for all those who continue to seek solace and enlightenment in the unyielding beauty of nature's highest realms.